What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Dead Noise. I'm Chris, and with me today, thanks to the power of Zoom, is Mr. Brian Burdzy from the band Hundreds of AU. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing great. It's Monday, but thanks for putting me up with me on a Monday.
This is the best way to either start or end a Monday, depending on how your schedule
Yeah,
operates.
I agree.
I love doing this. And like I said off camera, I'm really excited to talk with you all about your upcoming album. So let's just get that out of the way first. Your upcoming album, Life in Parallel, comes out August 22nd. And you said in an interview a few months ago, if I remember right, that this was your first full length as a five-piece band. Is that right?
Yes, so I am the newest member of Hundreds. That it's weird to be the newest guy and I'm the singer. And what's even weirder is like I've replaced singers in bands before. Members come and go, but I've never been in the situation where the two guys that I replaced are still in the band and they're on both sides of me every single show that we play.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so, like, I've joked around, but in a lot of ways, it's true. I'm the third best singer in this band. The two of them are already pretty great, and they just didn't want to do it anymore, I guess, or they were just, what they wanted to write was just, from my understanding, was just difficult for them to sing and play at the same time. So, and playing was the more important of the two. So that's why they they settled for me.
I always wonder how that is because I play bass as a hobby and I look at the greats like Geddy Lee and Billy Sheehan and stuff like that. Geddy Lee in particular, like one of my favorite Rush songs is the Anarchist, and I listen to those bass lines. I'm like, how in God's name does he sing over that? Because it's just unbelievable. I can't imagine having to do both at the same time.
We just kind of changed our set list. Like sometimes we'll keep the set list the same for a few shows, and then like shake things up if it's been a couple weeks, and just to keep it fresh. And we made up a set list because Paul, our guitar player, he was filling in for School Drugs in Europe,
Hmm.
and we were in the process of like booking a couple shows, and we didn't want to cancel them because one of them was in Montreal. And I really didn't want to cancel. Probably the loudest one because I've never played out of the country before. And so I just really wanted to. And so we I guess the set list got cooked up where it would be like okay to play as a four piece.
Hmm.
And there are two songs on there, both of which I really enjoyed. It's one of them is Symbolic, which is the first song off of the last full length the Hundreds did, and it's a great song. And I struggled so mightily with it. And like there's parts where I'm like, Tom, where are you with this? Like where is the make it make sense to me? Because he's the one that primarily sings on that on the record.
Hmm.
And so yeah, it ended up working out fine, I guess. Or he's still out. Nobody said anything to me yet, so I think it worked out okay. But like, there's been a couple of those songs where I have been like totally stuck, like because I've always been the listener and never had to worry about what the. A lot of times the lyrics, especially, like, is gonna be a weird thing for me to say. Least important thing to me when I'm listening to a band because like I always be like I like hardcore and punk and like heavy music like that.
Hmm.
And so to me the vocals have always kind of been an instrument. And so it didn't really and sometimes like, I've been in bands before and like the lyrics were the worst part of the band I was in and I wrote them. Like they were bad. And so I'm like I got a couple songs that I wrote way back when that I'm like, oh God, look, like that was definitely written by a 17-year-old. Like, you know what I mean? Like that, it's okay. I'm okay with it. I'm totally at peace with it. But like there is a lot of stuff that I listen to like that too. And it's like so I just got it, I just put this mantra in my head that like lyrics are usually terrible. Lyrics are usually the worst part of the band. So uh also acted in my favor for the new 100 stuff because I saw how hard these guys were working on writing songs, and I really loved the songs that they wrote, and I just wanted to write lyrics that like lived up to the music too. And so I really pushed myself with this, and I think it part of it had to do with that mantra of like, I don't give a shit what anybody's saying. Like, I don't really care. I don't know any Converge lyrics at all. I love Converge, one of my favorite bands of all time. I don't know any of the words in Concubine. I just know the noises. I got the noises down pat. As if they needed it, if Jake Bannon got laryngitis and they needed somebody to fill in, I could do it. Don't need to look at a single lyric sheet. Don't need to look at any of them. So,
Oh man.
and I'm not gonna lie, it's been a couple times it's worked out in hundreds. I don't do it all the time, but there's a lot of songs. There's a lot of songs, and I like that's the thing too. So you gotta understand, when I joined this band too, like the idea of writing with them was amazing because I have such a respect for all the stuff that they have put out prior. I really enjoyed it. Like I have since the first record came out, I wasn't all in on the demo. I actually didn't even hear the demo until after I heard the first record. When the first record came out, the first album, I loved it immediately. This is great. Tom is usually doing like a lot of he's like heavily involved in screamo stuff, but he also writes really heavy stuff too. And this was like to me, I know we get labeled as kind of like a screamo band, but to me we sound like a hardcore band.
I agree.
Um, and I'm cool with either one. It's not insulting or anything like that. But like those are the circles that we're in, and I think a lot of that has to do with like Tom's prior output in other bands. Um, we are just to me, we just sound like a bookish, uh, more angular, a little bit more esoteric hardcore band.
Hmm.
Like the stuff that I like, and then I know Tom likes and a lot of the other guys like too. Like we're all big like 108 fans and stuff, and I hear that leak in and every once in a while. Um, so join the fun of joining the band was like I get to play some of these songs, and they're rad. They're so rad. Like every time we play Deflection Arts, like I get a little there's a little giddy up. I get really into it. And there's another one they have. They wrote on they put on a four-way split. It was one of the first songs that I like rehearsed with them was Dark Like Winter, and I hope we never take it out of the set because I love playing it. I think they live when we play it too, so that feels great. Like everybody's in, and that's great. But there's also a lot of lyrics to remember, and I'm like writing I gotta learn my own songs. Like we're rehearsing those too. So everything is new all at the same time. And so there's been a few times where I have maybe forgotten a lyric or two.
Well, that's rock and roll.
And I just make it work. I watched a lot of wrestling as a kid. I know what selling it is all about, and I can do that. And I have done it three times, maybe four, but three for sure. Three.
So it sounds like you were already pretty well familiar with the band and their material before you even joined. So in the preparation and overall process for writing this album, did that did working with them add some sort of not pressure, but like some sort of spark to where you felt the need to change something about the way you normally write songs?
Yes. So yeah, there was pressure. They didn't put it on me. I put it on me because I didn't want them to, first of all, I didn't want to do anything that would look make people not like or want to listen to their older material.
Hmm.
Um, that was important to me. And I when they were writing, and I was trying to find my place in the writing, because they've already released three records without me, three full lengths, bunch of songs on splits and comps and an EP, a demo. Like they did, I'm just kind of stepping in. Like I kind of gotta blend in a little bit. Just
Hmm.
blend in and just contribute like where can I contribute the most? Well, I've been in other bands and I've like made I guess, musical suggestions. I don't play music, so it's just like as a hardcore fan, as a punk fan, like I have my suggestions and whatever, and like kind of try to keep those to a minimum for
Mm,
this. And not that I really needed to say much. I didn't because they were real already writing great stuff. Like there was just, just kind of figuring out how many times to do this and when to change that. There's little stuff. Most of the songs that they wrote, there was like almost complete at during the initial writing process. There's just little touches here and there that we all kind of made amongst ourselves. But the best place where I knew I could contribute was like, well, I'll write the lyrics. And I I could not have done 20 years ago, I could not have been in this band.
mm,
Because what helped me immensely was like when they have song ideas, they'll pick up their guitars and go and record them and send like, they'll put like fake drums or something behind it and send it. They'll send the riff. And from there, like I have, oh, cool. Now I have a really good idea of what this song is and what I can do. And I like to think that once I would come to practice, like Scorched Earth, one of the singles that you've heard, Scorched Earth Harvest, is like the perfect example of that. Tom wrote that, and I had a theme. A lot of times, what I'll do is I'll write down like what I want to write about.
mm.
Not exactly. I don't have lyrics. I don't have maybe I'll have a line or two, but once I write it down, I start thinking about it, and then I just start kind of going throughout my day thinking about it, and like, you're just kind of moving in and out of life. Um, and you know, with that kind of casting a shadow on it. Not to be ominous at all, but like, and so I Tom wrote that song, and I already had like some ideas, and then it just kind of like, oh, okay, this is kind of the perfect song for it because I want it. This song is really about people, those tent churches in like the deep South and like the Midwest, like Indiana, where it's like in the middle of a crop field or something. And then like people come in and there's like, they're speaking in tongues and they're doing all that sort of stuff. The real devout, they're praying for the rapture, right? And what would happen if they opened up the tent and it happened around them? Like where would they be? What would they be like? And how much is like American exceptionalism, like the real true faith of these people? And so I already had ideas, and there's a part in that song where it's like it's quiet, and that would be a great part, like to like somebody could shout over a congregation.
Mhm.
It's got an ethereal feeling to that part too, and it's got like a little kind of a dancey part, and it like kind of fit perfect with the vision I had in my head because I've seen videos of these people like writhing around when they feel like they're touched by God. And I'm not here to criticize them for that part of it. Like
Mhm.
that's what, there's plenty of different faiths that have the same sort of sect of people that do that. Judaism has that, Islam has that, Buddhism has that. They all have that. It's fine. Um, but like that like dancey part kind of like sort of fit in because it kind of snakes a little bit, and that fit with like the vision that I had. And so I wrote it. I recorded a really crappy demo of it. And I sent it. And I don't think any of them listened to it because I think they might have rejected the demo. But when we went to rehearse it, I had it. I already like knew it and I felt it. And so we just kind of went with it. And minus a few little tweaks as far as just like this here, this there, like that sort of thing, that song was complete and it was done. Same thing with Endless Beige, which is another song that just came out
Mhm.
uh, last week at the time of this recording. And that was something that Tom had sent everybody, and very few changes in that. And I already had an idea of what I wanted to talk about, and was a fun song to do because it's like one of the few songs I've done which is like a waltz
Hmm.
because of the way it moves. Like I bet most of the bands I've been in before like don't be caveman hardcore. Like, I don't have to really think about it. It's just as long as I can yell real loud and like thump my chest, like it fits perfect. But once I'm doing something else like this, it's just it's a little bit more nuanced and so I just went with that. I just you know I went with that and it worked out. I hope. I think. I mean, I've gotten some feedback from that song in particular, and it has been really, really positive. And I was hoping for that because it's a song that I really, really enjoyed performing, and I was a challenge for me to write. It was a challenge for me to, it was the first song I recorded.
Mm.
I did as much. I did the whole album in a couple hours, which was I was just ready to go. Like I got exactly enough sleep. Like I did exactly. I listened to my body. I did everything my body was telling me to do. And because when you're 41, you have to.
Fair.
And um and I just thought I was like, okay, well, all these other ones are going to totally blow out my vocal cords. So we're going to start with this one so I can get this one done. And I just try to get through it as quickly as I could and not think too hard on it. I try to be overly critical of myself.
I love that. Endless Beige did. There's only three singles out right now, but I do feel like that one, out of the three, that was a really unique one. As a dopey caveman myself, to a certain degree, I really love Scorched Earth Harvest.
Oh, thank
Um,
you.
from a musical perspective, it's just such a banger, and I couldn't stop listening to it. When I think of hardcore music, the two bands that really first come to mind are Snapcase
Yeah.
and Extremist, and that they're a straight edge hardcore band. They only ever made one album. It's got Davey and Jade from AFI. Yeah, I love that album.
Do you?
I love it. I grew up loving AFI, so I would
So
listen to
did I. Yeah.
anything that they did. So when that came out, especially because I thought Davey was kind of done screaming at that point, then they put out the Extremist record. I'm like, oh my God. I love it.
What's your favorite AFI record?
Fuck. Honestly, it's a more recent one, but I love the Blood album,
Okay.
the self-titled. But there's not a single weak album in my opinion. I love as different as they all are from each other. I love them all, but like the top three for me are probably the Blood album, December Underground, and The Art of Drowning.
Art of Drowning is my favorite one. Like
That's
that's
that's a good one.
that record's a total banger. It came out my senior year of high school,
Oh,
and I was so into that record. And it's got my favorite uh song on there. Like was it like track three? It was like Three Tears I Say for You. That song is so good.
Ever in the Day.
It's yes, and it's like Danzig could sing that song. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it's got a vibe to it. Oh, I dig it. Yeah, I'm a huge Misfits fan too. Like I'm from like we're me and Paul and Buzz. We live in Sussex County, New Jersey, and the Misfits are from here.
Hmm.
So like just a massive anything with the Misfits like is sick. So
Now, did you ever get to see AFI live?
oh yeah, a bunch of times. Yeah.
Oh.
The AFI were a band to me that when they got signed by a major and their music did change. I
Mm,
don't think it's hard to deny that. I think it went in a logical sort of direction.
mm.
But like it did have a little bit more commercial appeal to it. But I wasn't like ready to scream sell out at them because I just know that how much they toured and how
Yeah.
hard they worked. Their output was insane. Like they were putting out like records real fast and trying to appease their fan base. And like a lot of times when bands do that, in my opinion, they kind of don't put in a full effort, but like they just seem to get better and better and better and better every record. Black Sails was like a huge wow, like wow, this is that band. Like holy shit.
Hmm.
Um, and so and then The Art of Drowning comes out after that one. I love that one. Um, so when they got big, it didn't make me angry. I was happy for them because you know what? You should make a living doing this. If you can, if you can, you're not screwing anybody over. And everything I hear about them is like they're the nicest people, and I've met a couple of them, like a handful of times, and my interaction with them was nothing but positive. They're very, very nice people. So when good things happen to good people, I'm always stoked for it. I don't have anything bad to say about it. I did, and the reason I'm saying all this, and I know this, is because they were fucking playing New Jersey all the time. They seemed to be on every flyer. They were always playing at Chrome. They were always playing somewhere in New York. They were constantly jumping back and forth between the coasts and doing every city in between. They were road warriors, and I respect it. And every time I saw them, I didn't see them after Sing the Sorrow. So I
Oh
haven't seen
wow.
them since then. So it's been a while. But Sing the Sorrow came when I saw them. Sing the Sorrow had been out like every that was what they were playing, and they
Mm.
would like play Days of the Phoenix, and they would a couple song like couple songs off of Black Sails maybe because that kind of fit the vibe.
Like God
Uh,
called in sick today.
yeah, yeah. Um, but and they were still good. Like even if I don't like Sing the Sorrow the way I like those other records, but
Right.
like I was having fun while I was there. It was a good time. I stayed for the whole show, so that's an indication. And in my 20s, man, it was hard to get me to pay attention to anything I wasn't into.
That's such a refreshing take to hear, though, because I'm sure you see online all the time people who came up in the punk scene and watch them transition into a more commercial sound were quick to scream sell out. And to this day, every time they do anything new, they're still begging for them to make punk music again. And
I don't what if they make punk music again, what's it gonna sound like? You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
I don't know at this point that they can write anything like that. That Bodies record that they did a couple years ago, I actually liked that one. I thought it was
Oh,
fine. I thought it was a different record. It is a logical step in a direction where they can continue that sort of output. Like
yeah.
you know what? I think what with them in particular. There's just like the dyed in the wool hardcore people. When your lead singer starts selling makeup, they're like, okay, you know what? You know, I gotta burn all my AFI shirts now. Like I I don't care about that.
Right.
That doesn't matter to me because that's something that I could just easily move on and ignore. Um, but some people can't. Some people can't. It's okay. Sometimes though, we should really bring back the stigma of selling out, I think, in some ways. Like I watch like, you know, we got celebrities selling like bullshit coins to people and taking their savings accounts. Like that's selling out.
Yeah.
We should bring that part back. Maybe not, maybe a little less on the hardcore, a little more on the NFTs. That's my opinion.
If we
So.
could just get rid of NFTs altogether, get rid of friggin' Chat GPT, all this other bullshit, I can't stand it.
Yeah.
But yeah, with you from the Northeast, I had a feeling that AFI played regionally near you over the years. I was born and raised in southeastern North Carolina,
Okay.
so we never get AFI ever.
Okay.
But I'm seeing them at House of Blues Myrtle Beach for the first time in October, and yeah, I'm so excited. I don't
That's
even
awesome.
well, back to your record. Um,
I love talking about music, so that's cool.
yeah, me too. Um, you, as of now, the album has three singles. It's got Wake Today, Scorched Earth Harvest, and Endless Beige. How much of a sonic indicator do you think that is for the audience of what the rest of the record sounds like? And what non-single tracks are you most excited for fans to hear?
Um, I think that what we have shown with the three singles is the tip of the iceberg. Um, I, you know, I'll tell you that my favorite song to play is Scorched Earth. I I love the way it feels, and it's just a fun song for. It's just a fun song for me. It's fun to like have Tom sings a lot of backup vocals on on that song, and yeah, I'm such an admirer of his work in bands that he's done prior to Hundreds, and of course including Hundreds. So like to have him, sing these, words that I wrote, was pretty special. And so I love doing that song, but there are like I think everybody on our band's got different like favorites, which is cool.
Hmm.
And that one's mine. There's a song on there. The one I'm looking forward to the most for people to hear is a song near the end of the record called Blue Jay, and I wrote it. The story is, my I have a 10-year-old daughter.
Mm.
She is like the best. She's just such a sweet kid. She's nice and she's kind and thoughtful and she's a little shy, but she tries to get along with everybody. And of course, she's a 10-year-old girl, so sometimes girls fight. Boys fight too, right?
Yeah.
Boys and girls fight at 10. Everybody fighting. Everybody's fighting at 10. So she was going back and forth with a friend of hers, and they weren't getting along, which we've all been there. But you know, as a dad, you kind of gotta like, and as a parent, my wife was actually the one doing it. Like, you gotta look. She has a phone. You gotta look through the phone every once in a while. Don't snoop. You don't have to go dig deep dives, but like, just make sure she's not texting anybody that's a stranger. Make sure that she's not looking at anything inappropriate. And she's a pretty good kid, so she doesn't do any of those things. But still, you gotta keep up with it.
Mm.
And my wife, the first text message that she saw was the last one that my daughter sent, and it was to this friend that she's been fighting with. And it was like something to the effect of like, "Can you please talk to me? You're my only friend." And it gutted me. And I was totally crushed by it. And the idea, the thought of like, me and my wife, we worked really hard to like give her the things that she needs and, try to teach her lessons to protect her from the world. This is a very scary place sometimes, and and just trying to say things to guide her, and like my parents did not give a shit about my creative side. They didn't care about that. They wanted me to go to college and become a doctor or a lawyer or an accountant or something that I those things are not for me. And so like we're just trying to be positive people behind her, like that were there. And you go through, you get that moment comes where you're like, you can't protect them from everything. And there is a sadness that comes with that because you could try and you could try and you could try. And I just thought about her. She's an only child. We don't have time to have another one. It's very financially difficult to have another child. And we don't want to be adding to the population and not being able to do a good job parenting, or like making sure that they have a that they can do better than us, right?
Mm.
And so you know it crushed me. This is the longest it's ever taken me to write a song. It took me like four days. I cried every time I was writing it. I poured my heart and soul into the song, and it was just me. It's the whole song is me talking to her. And yeah. And so um what's cool about it, and one of the reasons I look forward to people hearing it, is there's guest vocal appearance on there, from my one of my closest friends, John Tamillo. He sings in a band called Folly. Folly was a band that was huge in my area, and obviously beyond, they signed a nice label. They were the first band that like out of our local scene to kind of get out of our local scene,
Mm.
and they did, and they toured the whole country, and it was like so amazing. And I learned so much from them, and like we had started having kids around the same time, and so like he and I'll text and talk to each other a lot. And most of the time what we're talking about is like our kids are doing this and like struggles that we're having with parenting, and trying to like not lose our tempers and stuff like that. And so I asked him, I sent him the lyrics. I was like, listen, this song is one of the songs. And fun fact, this was a song that when we told Iodine, like, we think we have the record, and we said we have, it was about 8 songs. And they're like, yeah, it would be great if it were 10.
Hmm.
And that's the only pressure that they put on us at all. And so they didn't say, yeah, you got to do that. But like, they're putting a lot into, you know, making the record, helping us make the record that we want to make. And so we can kind of meet them in the middle. And so 10 is okay, what we did. So we wrote one of the songs is Blue Jay. And I just knew like part, the guys they wrote the music for it and they wrote this part. And I'm like, I gotta put John right there. I already got this. So I wrote it with him in mind and like built that around him, what I wanted to say and what I wanted him to say and like, the things that we share in common. And so yeah, it's a very special, obviously it's a very special song for me because I want someday when my daughter does not like my music at all. So she went to that she went with me to see the Misfits, but like that's about probably all I'll ever get. And but someday I want her to hear it and just know, that how much I cared about her, how much I loved her, how much, we love her and how important she is to us. And I want like a guy like John on there to be like how important he's been to me in my life and how important he continues to be. And hopefully I am returning the favor to him in some way. So that's we just started playing that live not too long ago and it's been like I know that our drummer John, I can totally speak for it because he did say he's like this is my favorite song to play live now. So we all have our different favorites, and I think that one, I think for sure I can say that that one's his.
I don't know about you, but growing up, I was always like, I always went to those bands that kind of captured that lyrical juxtaposition, that contradiction. AFI is a big example. Alkaline Trio,
Yep.
a New Jersey band, Census Fail.
Yep.
They're bands like that have always kind of just been stuff I gravitated to since I was in middle school, basically.
Sure.
And so I think that's what kind of drew me to your music and this upcoming album because just from what I've read in the press releases and what I've heard of the 3 singles, you can kind of get that same feeling to a certain degree. And I think, especially for the times that we're living in right now, it's very appropriate.
Yeah. And like I said, like what you're describing is kind of what drew me to them. Like I've loved their records. And I really do. It's like I like joked around because like, the obvious like movie parody is that like Mark Wahlberg Rockstar movie and
Yep.
stuff. So like I think like the second or third practice, I was like, stand up and shout. Like but there is that to it, I mean, this band, I mean, there was two guys singing, so there was always like a little bit of duality to it. And
Hmm.
like the songs that they were singing, I think, for the most part, whoever was singing it kind of wrote the majority of it.
Hmm.
And they like two different styles, like not drastically different, but they just have different likes. And it was kind of cool. Like you hear a song like Symbolic, which like part of it sounds like The Cure and like a Western, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And then which is duality in and of itself. And then followed by that is a song called Down in Front, which is like a great, great hardcore song. I look forward to the day where we get to play that one because I haven't played that one yet. Maybe I'll bring that up at the next band.
Well, if you guys are ever in North Carolina, I know some venues in Wilmington that would be perfect for you guys,
Oh,
and
IBN, yeah,
I would
yeah.
hope that's on the set list for sure.
Um, I have played Durham a couple times. This is a band prior to Hundreds. We were on tour and like our band, like I guess it was like a starter needed to be replaced or something. And so we went to this like, mechanic and he had all of his stuff like UNC colors.
Yep.
And like we were just really hoping he didn't like take us kind of for a ride with the price and everything. So like I like I went in, like looked around and came out. I'm like, nobody fucking say anything about Duke. Don't even bring it up. Don't even fucking say it. And yeah, I mean they were really great.
My last question in regards to the album is I love talking about artwork with certain releases whenever I get to talk to people. How does the cover art for this album kind of coincide with the lyrical content?
Um, so the painting that's being held in there, I did that painting. Is my It's the first one I've ever done.
Wow.
I kind something I kind of like mapped out in a sketchbook, and I there are so many fantastic artists out there, and I just know what I have a bunch of friends who are painters and graphic artists and stuff like that, and so I I listen to them, and when they say like, you know what, the best art you can make is the art that you can make. And so, like, if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna do that, like, do something that you know you can do. Like, try to tell a story with what you can do, and like, but don't get real rigid about it. Just kind of let And my friend Matt is, he's been such a positive influence on me, while I'm like trying to do visual art,
Hmm.
and so he's the one that like, he's been really great to me. And so I was just kind of running stuff by him and I was like, I did a sketch and I was like, does this, if you're just looking at this, does this look like it tells a story? He goes, it looks like it's saying something. I don't know what it is, but it does look like it's saying something. And so, really to the simplest terms, that painting is just, it's those squares and those rectangles are supposed to represent spaces, and then it's just basically how those spaces go outside of each other and then they drift apart.
Okay.
And that's and I did a sketch of that and I showed it to the guys in the band, and they saw it and they were like, okay, go ahead and try it and let's see how it goes. And then I just worked super hard on it. Like I wanted the colors to be really vivid and beautiful, and but also kind of keep it dark. And then Tom had a really good idea of like, the album's called Life in Parallel. We already knew what the album title was going to be before we started the art project. And like, so then he contributed by like, oh, well, we should take a picture of somebody holding it and then like standing up straight along a fence, like parallel lines, like try to have as many lines in there as possible.
Hmm.
And I thought that was a great touch.
Yeah.
And like what I used in mine, like he had like really vivid, natural colors in the background of like somebody holding that painting. It's him. Spoiler alert: Tom's holding the painting. And, uh, but like, and then there's like a more subdued color scheme that he's holding.
Hmm.
So, you know, I just thought the contrast of that worked well enough. And I so does the overall thing represent like all the lyrical content? No, but it just kind of represents like the lyrical, like the theme of like where how I'm viewing the world. The lyrics are really just how I'm viewing the world. There's no like characters or anything like that. It's just like here I am in Sussex County, New Jersey. This is what I was expecting my life was going to be, and this is what it actually is. And this
Hmm.
is what I was expecting, like how I was going to be raising my kid, and this is actually how it's going. Like I wasn't expecting to be raising my kid, who like tells me that, oh, we did an active shooter drill today. Like it's a weird reality to be in. It's a fucked up timeline that we're on right now.
Yeah.
And there's just stuff like that. And you know, there's I didn't expect to be having to worry about those things. And now I have to worry about all those things. And it like,
Right.
I was ex like I was saying before, like we're working hard. We should be able to afford a house. Should be, within our means. And we can't even afford that.
Yeah.
And so like what we were expecting and what reality is. And so I think that because like, there's a painting being held and then there's reality on the outside. I think that those contrast that contrast works together with the visual part of it and I guess the overall lyrical content.
I also like how it's a brighter tone, and like because most album covers they're black or they're blue or they're
Yeah.
gray. This definitely makes it stand out even more, which I think is great.
The like I'm such a big fan of like early 90s hardcore and emo and stuff from that time period because like they used these subdued natural colors,
Yeah.
like these like darker browns and these reds and stuff like that that I like deep crimson type of reds.
Hmm.
Like I don't know how familiar you are with Down by Law, but like they have the one record I think it's their self-titled record. Not remembering off the top of my head. I don't know why. But like the painting on that is amazing. It's beautiful. And like it also reminds me a lot of like I'm a big Hot Water Music fan.
Hmm.
And so like their albums feature a lot of these natural colors and stuff like that. And like so I'm sure that that sort of influence bled in because I think that they've always kind of kept it within a theme and like you could look at a Hot Water Music cover and then see the title and
Yep.
be like, oh, okay, this is an abstract, but it still kind of fits. Like, like the Forever and Counting cover or Finding the Rhythms and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, before I let you go, this is my favorite part of every interview. I have a speed round for you.
okay.
Um, so I got 5 questions. If you want to elaborate, you can. The first one, you probably already mentioned it, but just in case people don't know, the first question, your favorite song to play live,
Scorched Earth Harvest.
most embarrassing moment on stage.
Uh, Recently I kind of like tripped over my own 2 feet and I caught myself on a speaker, but I almost ate shit and it would have been terrible.
Your dream tour lineup.
Dream tour? Um, ooh. Okay, well, you mentioned Snapcase before. I'm a huge Snapcase fan.
Mm.
So that would be sick. Something goes with Snapcase, probably 108 and oh fuck yeah, Integrity. I love Integrity. They're one of my favorite bands of all time. So yeah, and then we're opening. Hundreds opens. Doesn't make any sense on that bill, but so yeah, hundreds, Integrity, Snapcase. That's what I would do. Oh, 108. I said
One
108. Yeah.
108.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so stacked. Your favorite thing to do outside of music.
Um, well, I do try to work on visual art as much as I can. It's hard because I'm going to school for it.
Oh,
It should count as doing it, but like doing assignments and doing what you want to do are two totally different things.
yep.
But I do enjoy spending time like doing that with my daughter. Like anything art related, doing that with my daughter is great. Like we've gone to a couple local museums and stuff,
Hmm.
which I always feel good doing because, local artists, you should check them out. Everybody's got an artist in your town. You should go look at their work.
Yes.
Um, and and just like there's one I kind of found one. Well, found it. It's been there. I discovered it like Columbus discovered America, right? Like, uh,
Eureka.
yeah, right. And there's already people there. There's but there's what in this town called Clinton, New Jersey, which I actually I think to that point I'd never been to. We just went on a really nice winter day. It was like $5 to get in. Looked at all this beautiful artwork. Like somebody put a lot of time into that, and you know, I obviously I hope the money went to them, but yeah, it was great to see. I really enjoyed it, and I love going to see those things with her, and especially with small exhibits like that because like 10-year-old attention spans are not great. 30 minutes, I think I can manage. Anything more than that, I don't know.
And the last one, this is always my favorite question, and I feel like I might know the answer based on what we've talked about earlier, but the song you wrote that means the most to you.
It's certainly Blue Jay. It's certainly Blue Jay. I've never written a song that hits me emotionally the way it does. I have a difficult time um thinking about it,
Hmm.
and like sometimes when I listen to it I get a little upset because I just put myself, it's like I go back to that place where I was writing it. And even there's been a couple times where I have not gotten upset, but like I've felt it like creeping in when we're playing it live. Like we've only played it 3 times, but I felt it, and it's our drummer's favorite song, so it's not going anywhere as far as I can tell. It should be there for for the foreseeable future. I don't see how it's not. So
Well, that's yeah, like I said earlier, that's instantly gonna be on my radar when the album comes out. And I feel like everyone who listens to this should have that on their radar too. And yeah, I can't wait for
thank you.
the reaction and the record and everything. But that was everything that I had planned for you for this interview. Was there any closing message to any hundreds fans watching?
I have been really taken aback by how well I've been treated by people who were fans of this band before I joined and have been said nothing but nice things to me. I will never forget how gracious people have been, and that includes the band members. They never put any pressure on me. They don't treat me like the rookie or, I didn't get hazed, like none of that. Everybody's been really great, and I'm just super thankful for that. And beyond that, uh, no kings and free Palestine and treat people with respect. And racism is fucking stupid, and so is homophobia, and so is xenophobia. So stop. That's
That's
it.
like I said, this was everything that I had planned. Thank you so much for the time. I know this was probably a longer interview and it's getting late on a Monday night, but this was so much fun and I
Oh,
had a
dude, I had a great time. Really, I really did.
likewise. And again, can't wait for the album. To everybody who watched this interview, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out the new Hundreds of AU album, Life in Parallel, out August 22nd via Iodine Recordings. And until the next interview, stay tuned, stay scared, and I'll catch you later.